2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Music with Ryan. Thanks for joining me. This week's featured lesson is a request from a new Premier member, and it's a lesson about how to improvise with licks and phrases over the 12-bar blues. Now, this is something I don't have an awful lot of at the website. I've got a lot of bluegrass, country, old time, Carter style stuff. Some bluesy influenced lessons or song arrangements, but nothing just kind of how to improvise over the 12-bar blues. And I thought it'd be good to write something up for that. Again, it's just a standard 12-bar blues in the key E. And what I did is I took two passes around on the solo, and I just used some phrases and licks, just like I mentioned, to, kind of improvise, but improvise with an idea in mind. I'm trying to kind of, again, make a phrase, make a musical statement, and then, add some licks in between it as well. So as you saw, too, I did one down here in first position. I got a little bit out in the third position. And then I did one, and then the second half of the second time is up here. I get up on the neck a little bit. And so another cool thing I did for this lesson that I thought would be a good idea is I talk about the scales I'm using. So there's a separate video clip about the scales I'm using and how I went about improvising and creating the phrases. It's not like super in depth where I talk, I could talk about it for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, but I certainly take the time to go over the scales that I'm using. Again, a lot of this is E minor pentatonic bass with adding blues notes as well. So I talk about where the blues notes are. And then I also talk about where my root notes are, because it's good to know where your root note is when you're improvising. So there's kind of 1.5 position, or 1.5 solo box, or whatever you want to call it, down here. Okay, I talk about that. So I show the scale, break it down, and then I kind of fool around in it and show you, hey, this is where I got some of those licks from those certain measures, and hey, it's just the scale, but I add some ham-rounds and pull-offs. And then the other one's up here, 7th and 9th, and then I also get up to 10 and 12 as well. So again, talk about the root notes, the blues notes, and where some of those licks came from that I was using. So cool. This lesson, if you do decide to purchase, you can click the link above or below to access that, shoot you out of my website. This lesson, though, is going to be about an hour of video, so a pretty big lesson. There's a lot of stuff, certainly an intermediate to advanced type of thing going on. I talk about the triplet feel, the shuffle feel. We do a lot of ham-rounds and pull-offs, so it's pretty involving, but really cool and a lot of fun to play. If it goes over well, I'm certainly going to add more 12-bar blues lessons to the site. So again, if you click the link, shoot you to my website, and there it comes, about an hour video, 3 practice tracks, and the PDF tabs. And again, there's a whole other sheet for the scales as well, the 2 scales, or each position's kind of like 1.5 positions, I think about it. So I'll explain that in the lesson. But while you're over there, check out all the other instructional material I have. If you really enjoy the way I teach and approach learning, think I'm a good fit for you, you can be a member for a yearly or monthly fee and access my library of over 230 lessons and counting, right? I come out with one every week. So for now, we're going to start walking through this lesson a little bit, give you a taste of how it's going to go, bring the camera on in, and hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. All right, so let's start walking through the 12-bar blues riffs and phrases here lesson. And a couple things before we begin. I don't have any right hand fingerings or right hand pick directions marked below the staff like I usually do. And the reason being is a lot of times in blues they do all down strokes, and sometimes people just kind of mix and match ups and downs kind of depending on what feels good. And this is kind of one of the only times, I guess you could say, or I'm willing to break the rules. I noticed that down all the downstrokes give it a nice little feel, help give it that triplet feel and help really punctuate some of the notes and the groove and so forth. So there's no right hand fingerings, and you might see me do ups and downs at different points. Sometimes I really still like to have my alternate in place, while other times I like to do all downs, get in a nice little groove with that as well. So you can kind of do both. You can mix and match, or you could do all down strokes too, which I would recommend doing as well. It's a good exercise. It's good to know what that feels like. So yeah, so I'm gonna play the first few bars here. Do the little kind of infamous turnaround you hear, and I'll break that down. And also note that we're gonna have lots of triplets, and in the blues shuffle, we really want to fall into that triplet feel. Okay, that shuffle that we hear, and it starts right at the top here with the turnaround, or the intro, you could call it here as well. So it's. So right there you see the little threes in the first measure. And so I'm 4 and 4, 4 on the G, 4 on the high E. And it's a triplet. Triplet. And then take it down a fret. Triplet. Take it down another fret, second fret, triplet. And here I was alternating. I like to alternate on this little part for sure, for me personally. Helps me just be a little more accurate, because that's what I'm used to. Some blues guys might do all down still. And I can do it. I just feel, again, a little bit more comfortable with alternate picking here since I'm skipping a string. So yeah, but the triplet feel, we really want to fall in that, because we're going to be doing, again, when you do the rhythm, that's the feel, the triplet, the shuffle. And when we do our solo, we're going to be in and out of triplet runs, okay? So 3 notes for 1 beat, it's a triplet, okay? We're going to be swinging everything, long, short, long, short. We'll be swinging the 8th notes. So yeah, we really want to find that feel. And as we go throughout the lesson, you'll get a better idea of how to accomplish that, what it feels like with the different licks and so forth. So that first measure, and then we've got 2 8th notes here. I got first fret G and then open E. So it's 3, go, triplet, triplet, triplet. And one of the tricky things about doing triplets is if you're doing 8th notes along with it, it's easy to get out of that feel. And so it can be tricky to like do triplets and then 8th notes and then triplets and 8th notes, kind of mixing them up all together. So really take note of that. And again, as we go through, there's a lot of stuff in this piece, all kinds of licks. You'll see what I mean, and we'll be able to really think about distinguishing the difference between 8th notes and triplets. 4 and... Okay, that was just the first fret G, open E. And then the next measure, open A, first fret A, second fret A, kind of walking into the B7. Then I'm going to strum the B7 for the rest of the measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and. You see there's a little tie there as well. that's what the notes in parentheses, they got the tie, and then the notes in parentheses are the notes that are being tied to, so we don't play those. So there's a double, there might be a double up if I'm strumming. Again, I kind of might strum this. And I might not even strum that last, the and to beat 4. I might not even strum that because I'm going to get into my solo after this. So I might kind of forego that last strum. I just did it to fill it in, that measure. And you certainly can do it. But I might just take that little half a beat off to get ready to get into my solo. So those 2 measures. 2, 3, go. Solo. Right into measure 3. So one more time. All right, so the first couple measures, last time. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Into my solo. All right, so let's check out the next few measures now. Now we start getting into some stuff here. So measure 3, 4, and 5 sound like this. Ready, go. All right. So we got some 8th notes, we got some 16th notes as well. So right there, measure 3, I got a 4 on the G and a 3 on the B. I'm going to be working out of this little shape a lot. And again, those are 8th notes, and I'm gonna be sliding into a lot of things. It's not marked there all the time because you don't have to do it, but it does give it a little extra sass. It gives a little extra, it's more expressive, I would say. Again, a little meaner to get them slides in there. Now, if they throw you way off, don't just take them out. Make sure you get the timing right. But yeah, I'm going to slide in, and I might start at my 2nd fret, and I'm going to pick and slide at the same time, really fast. Right to it. 1 and, 1 and. Okay, that's that first beat. And then right here, you see we have a 3-5 hammer on the B, and it's 2 16th notes. And so these are all going to be very similar, these 16th note hammer-ons. They're going to be quick. They might even be considered grace notes. I might even hammer on so fast I could consider them grace notes. But I marked them as 16ths. So 1E and so I hammer 3 to 5 and then I come back to the 3 on the B. 1E and then I have just 8th notes here. And this is an 8th note slide, 4 to 2. Open G, 2nd fret D. Excuse me. Battling a little cold, but. So that measure, 3, 4. I'm going to do that again. 3, 4. So that hammer on again, and that's another thing to give it a little, again, sass, a little meanness or whatever you want to call it. I'm really hammering it on, quick and with a little gusto, you know what I mean? A little strength. That's that first 2 beats. 3 and 4 and again, ready, go. I'm gonna try to remember to do all downstrokes for the most part. I really want to get in the habit of that. It gives it a little Again, gives it more. There's just more expressiveness to me. Not always perfect with it, but. And then the next measure here, we got a triplet. 3, 3, 2, 0, all pull-offs on the G string. So it's one pick, 3 notes. Triplet. I did the work in the left hand. Pull, or pick, pull, pull. Then I'm going to hop up to my second fret of the D. It's going to be a short note. There's a rest in between it. Then I'm going to pluck it again, and it's going to hold for the rest of the measure. 2 plus 1/16 of a note beats long. Okay, use your ears, and it will help. So we're gonna be doing that little pull off again too. Triplet. It's a nice little blues thing. Ready, go. And then the next measure is just like measure 3. Ready, go. So all 3 of those measures, ready, go. 3, 4. Again, there's gonna be some notes or some small phrases where I just hold the note for like a half a measure or in one place down the line here in a whole measure. So you want to get used to just letting time pass. Just play a half note and just let it ring until it's time to play again. There's nothing wrong with some space. You know, it certainly helps things out. Being more expressive. 3, 4. So let's move on now. Measure 6 and 7. They sound like